And a pleasant good evening, everyone. Jeff Beavis, Sports Information Director at Calvin University, getting ready to bring you the first of two matchups tonight. First is the women's contest between the Adrian Bulldogs and the Knights of Calvin University. And then the game to follow, the men's contest between the Britons of Albion and the Knights of Calvin. Fully underway in the MIAA. The women have been in conference action since before Christmas. This is the fifth league conference match for Calvin. And the fourth for Adrian. On the men's side later tonight, it will be the conference opener for both teams. Looking at these two women's teams, Calvin comes in at 6-7 overall, 2-2 in the MIAA. Dropped both games last week, both to top 25 ranked opponents, 17th ranked Hope. Most recently defeated Calvin this past Saturday in the big rivalry contest, 72-64. And earlier on Monday, December 30 of last week, 8th ranked Wisconsin Whitewater defeated visiting Calvin 46-43. Calvin, as I mentioned, 2-2 in the league and 6-7 overall. Adrian, led by first-year head coach Sam Miller, we'll get to that in a bit, is 3-9 overall and 2-1 in the MIAA. Adrian has earned conference wins over the University of Olivet and Kalamazoo College. That was back in December, starting league play, and then also fell to Alma 70-58 for its lone conference defeat. Adrian led in scoring by Morgan Babb, who tosses in 12.3 points a game. Hannah Lish, 10.9 points, and Kylie Skidmore at 10.5 a contest. Adrian led by head coach Sam Miller. As I mentioned, he's in his first year. He's the head coach of the Adrian women's basketball program. He is no stranger to Adrian, as he is a 2010 Adrian College alum. He took over the Bulldog women's basketball program after 2 seasons as a member of the University of North Carolina women's basketball coaching staff. From 2021 to 2023, he was an assistant coach and a video coordinator there. Also spent 4 seasons nearby at the women's, or on the women's basketball staff at Duke University, which is about, 15 miles away from Chapel Hill. And of course, Duke is in Durham, very close by. He has also been in the MIAA as an assistant men's basketball coach at Kalamazoo, and has had a stint as an assistant, or an intern, I think it was, with the G League affiliate. Let's see if I can read his bio here. I was just going through that there. The Erie Bayhawks, which were a G League affiliate of the New York Knicks, and he did that for 1 year. Also a grad assistant with the men's basketball program at Western Michigan University, where he was the manager and video coordinator after spending a summer as a player development assistant for Michigan State men's basketball. So Coach Miller, his first time as a head coach, but he has had quite a bit of coaching experience, and he brings his Bulldogs into Vennord Arena. Calvin has won the last 11 meetings between Calvin and Adrian in women's hoops. The last time Adrian defeated Calvin was right here in Vennord Arena back in January of 2019. That was a 62-55 decision. Looking at this Calvin team, they were led in the loss against Hope this past Saturday by Anna Fernandez, who had 18 points. Caitlin LaRue had 14 points. And sophomore center Hannah Saul, 9 points, 8 boards, and 5 blocked shots. This Calvin team, very much led by its defending the rim mentality, blocking shots, if you will. They lead the country in blocked shots, swatting away 7.8 blocks per contest. Hannah Saul, I was just mentioning her, she is 10th in the nation in blocks per game at 2.85 swats per contest. Just about ready for our starting lineups. They're playing our pregame intro on the big board here. So we'll hold it here for just a minute as we get ready. We've got Dan Spulma at the public address mic for this women's game, so we'll be going to him shortly for our starting lineups, and we'll hold on there for just a minute. It's been a very tough schedule for Calvin women's basketball. Coach Christner saying it's probably the toughest schedule he has put together here at the helm of the Knights. All right, now let's go to public address announcer Dan Spulma and meet tonight's starting lineups, presented by Lake Michigan Credit Union, where its members really like earning more money when they save and paying less when they borrow. Let's turn it over to Dan.
Good evening and welcome to the Van Wert Arena for tonight's conference game between the Adrian College Bulldogs and your Calvin University Knights. Let's take a moment to meet tonight's starting lineups. First for Adrian, starting at forward, a 5'11" junior from Livonia, number 11, Aubrey Ickes. Starting at forward for the Knights, a 6-foot senior from Vienna, Virginia, number 14, Valerie Dirksey. For Adrian, starting at guard, a 5'6" sophomore from Rochester Hills, number 5, Caitlin Otto. At forward for the Knights, a 6'2" sophomore from Grand Rapids, number 24, Hannah Saul. For the Bulldogs, starting at guard, a 5'10" junior from Caledonia, number 10, Morgan Babb. At a guard for the Knights, a sophomore, 5'8" from Lake Orion, number 12, Chloe Wiegers. For Adrian, starting at guard, a 5'5" senior from Riverview, number 20, Kylie Skidmore. For the Knights at guard, she wears number 13. She's a junior, 5'8" out of Plymouth, Anna Fernandez. And for the Bulldogs at guard, wearing number 24, she's a 5'6" junior from Lansing, Darby Liner. And for your Knights at guard, a sophomore, 5'10" out of Grand Rapids, number 23, Caitlin LaRue. Head coach for Adrian College is Sam Miller. Head coach for the Knights is Mark Christner.
All right, that's tonight's starting lineups presented by Lake Michigan Credit Union, where its members really like earning more when they save and paying less when they borrow. Lake Michigan Credit Union, a proud sponsor of Calvin University Athletics. We appreciate that sponsorship. They've been a great sponsor for several years, really going back to the days of the Nord Arena opening back in 2009. So, been a few years. Amazing to think that we're in about the 15th or 16th year of this facility already. Doesn't seem that long ago that we played the first varsity contest in here. It was January 7, 2009, a doubleheader against Trine. We have a doubleheader tonight. And ready to jump it up is Hannah Saul for the Knights. That was Aubrey Ickes for Adrian. Adrian comes down with that one. They're ready to go. Kelvin in the man-to-man defense and a near steal. Adrian holding on to the ball. It's Leinert up top. And now here is the steal by Anna Fernandez. She'll go coast to coast, lay it up short. And a rebound to Adrian's Caitlin Otto. It's been one thing that has plagued the Knights. Great defensive play and struggles in finishing offensive chances, and that was a prime chance right there, and the Knights just left it short. It's been a familiar pattern, unfortunately, for Kelvin. This Otto, she might have gotten away with a travel. Here's a three from the right wing. Missed the rim. That was Babb there, and a rebound to the Knights, and that's Chloe Wiggers, the Lake Orion product. Kicks it up top to Dirksey, Valerie Dirksey, senior out of Vienna, Virginia. Got a chance to say hello to her dad before the game, former pickup basketball compadre of mine. He was on the Kelvin faculty as a visiting faculty member. It's a little half hooked by Hannah Saul. It's going to be short. Here's Adrian in transition, spinning in the double team. A shot up off the iron, no, by Leinerth, and a rebound comes to Kelvin. Neither team able to find the bottom of the net yet. Here's Hannah Saul, the lefty, in and out, goes for her own board, couldn't get it. That was Babb with the rebound, almost lost it, and now kicks it over to Skidmore. Just about 2 minutes elapsed here. Both teams have had chances, good ones at that, but unable to put the basket in the cylinder. Under 10 on the shot clock. That's Ix there, who's going to back her way down on Saul. 1 on the shot clock, and that will be a shot clock violation. Good defense by Kelvin on the perimeter. The Knights will take over. Early start time here in the doubleheader. Only 6 o'clock game in the MIAA tonight, men's or women's. There's a bunch of 7 o'clock tips, both sides. This is the earliest start around the league. Oh, pass inside, and Wiggers wasn't looking for it. Be another turnover by the Knights. Little token full court pressure there by Kelvin. Wiggers trying to force Skidmore into working a little harder to get the ball over the timeline. She does, but again, there's under 20 on the shot clock by the time Adrian gets into its offensive set. Entry pass into the post. Ix backing her way in and traveled. Another turnover. Both teams have had a few.
Come on now, here we go, let's go, come on, here we go.
And another turnover. Saul tried to find Wiggers' back door, and it got deflected away. Here's Adrian in transition, and what do you know? Another turnover back the other way. What do they call that, hot potato basketball there? Pass into the post. Dirksey looks away and shoots it over the rim. No, and I think knocked out by Adrian. Lydia Saul in for sister Hannah. Hannah Lish will check in for the Bulldogs. Checking out is Skidmore. Can't say scoreless. Our former and late beloved hockey coach, Mike Petrusma, would tell you 0-0 is a score, Phoebus. It's still in my head, so 0-0. No longer 0-0. Caitlin LaRue cans a 3 from the left wing, 3-0. Darby Leinerth, beg your pardon. Leaves it up top. That's Lish. Pass to Ix at the high post. Little handoff back to Isk. Will go to the hole, floats it up off the window and in, 3-2. Fernandez will pump a 3 from the right side, no. It'll be, I think, off of Adrian, it is. Be one of those offensive team rebounds. Kelvin will trigger underneath. Here comes Ania Riley for Adrian. Replaces Morgan Babb. Babb is a local product at Caledonia High School, located about 10 miles down the East Beltline. Lydia Saul on the baseline, no. Dirksey got the offensive board. Adrian in the man-to-man. Handoff to LaRue, thought about the 3. Now she'll drive to the basket and draws contact. And I think this will be a shooting situation, we'll see. No, they're just gonna call a hold before the shot. So Ix gets the foul there. She checks out. Here's Fernandez on the cut. Got the pass from LaRue. Little pull-up. No. Off the back iron. Dirksey the board. Battle for the ball, and it's a tie-up. I think Kelvin has possession. They do. Knights do. Kind of a cold, damp, slushy, snowy evening here in West Michigan. I was out on the roads about 4:45 briefly. Here's a layup inside on the inbounds pass. LaRue again, 5-0. Say Caitlin LaRue 5 and Adrian nothing right now. Riley looking inside, nothing there. Baseline drive, cut off by Wiggers. Back up top, Otto. Bounce pass by Leonard. He dribbles into traffic and got her pocket picked. Here's Wiggers, 2-on-1. Fernandez on the feed and puts it off the window and in. 7-0. Bigger part, 7-2, Kelvin. I forgot about that early field goal by Adrian. So I think I said 5-0 a moment ago. In fact, it was 5-2. Adrian running that old school high post with runners coming off. And here is a steal by Fernandez. Running the floor, pass to Dirksey, and she puts it in off the glass. Transition bucket, 9-2. Kelvin and Adrian will take a timeout, and I believe that will turn into a full media timeout as well. Take a little break here and be back in 60 seconds. All right, back here at Vernord Arena, fans, tonight's featured student athlete planning for success honoree on the women's basketball side is Allie Mays. Just had her up on the board. Allie is a senior out of East Lansing, Michigan, and I think she is checking into the game. I just looked over and looks like she's getting ready to go on with Sophie Sensenig. She's out of East Lansing, Michigan. She is a kinesiology major. I believe she's planning to go into a career in physical therapy. She's a Kelvin Deansless student multiple times over, holding a grade point average above a 3.50. Allie Mays. She's the Planning for Success honoree presented by Skipper and Ostrink Wealth Management, providing the financial clarity, solutions, and service that allow you to focus on what you care about most. Skipper and Ostrink. Looking at the early stat lines here, Adrian 1 of 3, Kelvin 4 of 11. So you can just see the Knights have had a wealth of more field goal attempts than Adrian. And they lead it on the board 9-2. Knights extending the man-to-man there a little bit with some high pressure, almost getting a trap on the sideline. Going hard to the hole, and it was Hannah Lish who missed it. Hotly contested by Lydia Saul, and the Knights with the rebound. Sensenig inside to Lydia Saul. Little left-handed floater, and that was pretty. Her first bucket of the game, just the way her father, Bill Saul, has been teaching her. Of course, her father is the head men's basketball coach here at Kelvin, and somebody who scored, and Lydia Saul swats it, and I think that should be Kelvin's ball. They're going to say Adrian's ball. She swatted that, and it ricocheted off the shoulder and head of, I believe, Lish there on the layup attempt. It'll stay with Adrian, though. I was just going to say, Coach Saul scored 2003 career points and knew his way around the basket inside, and he's been working hard with his daughters, Hannah and Lydia. And you see some of those fruits paying off there. There's Lydia Saul running the floor, kicks it right side. A three for Fernandez. Off the board and iron, run down by Mays. Sophie Sensenig, the pride of Grace Lake, Illinois, kicks it. to Fernandez. Now Allie Mays leaves it over to Lydia Saul. Running off that pick and roll as Allie Mays pulls up from 10, around and out. And a rebound ripped down by Morgan Babb. Here comes Adrian. 11-2 Kelvin. 3 minutes and change left, first quarter. Right side, Hannah Lish. Get back top to Leinerth. Now on the baseline, we're going to have a foul on Fernandez. Skidmore drawing the foul. And Skidmore will go to the line for a pair. Subs coming back in. Hannah Salt coming on for Sister Lydia, put in a real nice shift. Emma McElroy was in, just checked out. Leinerth is back into the game for Adrian. First free throw, no. Second free throw up there and in. A little bit of a lighter crowd here tonight. Of course, students aren't due back for another week and a half for the start of the second semester. Many are taking part in the 2-week January early opportunity offerings. Shot from Sensenig from the top is off. The Adrian's ball. But many Calvin students are taking 2-week intensive courses right now. I have a niece who is in Kenya. She's a senior nursing major. She is doing a nursing intensive 2-week session overseas in Kenya, getting some valuable experience overseas there. Just an example of, and there's a turnover by Adrian. But point being on that, as compared to this game, is there are very few students around campus, so not many students in the crowd, and it's an earlier tip time. As Gabby Hallowell has just checked into the game for Calvin. Hannah Saul to the hole, got her shot blocked. That was Weatherly who blocked it, and here comes Adrian. Going to the basket, and Hannah Saul blocking the shot attempt by Babb. Here comes Kelvin the other way. Turning into a block party here between these two teams. You got to travel. Either a travel. Thought maybe she stepped on the sideline, but no, it was a travel by Allie Mays. So Gabby Hallowell is in. Lansing Catholic High School product. It's been Calvin's backup point guard and has done a real nice job. Of course, the Knights losing Sammy DeKuyper with a season-ending injury in game number 1 this year. She was the starting point guard with Wiggers as the backup. And Wiggers actually missed a few games with injury. We're going to have a foul on Hannah Saul, battling Weatherly in the post there. And I think Wiggers came back in game 5 or 6. Hallowell actually played significant minutes. Anna Fernandez was the emergency point guard in those early games as far as the starting point guard. And Hallowell has found her sea legs and really has done a nice job. Jump shot was off the mark there by Adrian. Now another pass on the post. Weatherly kicks it and driving on the baseline. Skidmore and turns it over. Fernandez, another steal. She's going to go coast to coast, lays it up. No. And a rebound taken down by Adrian's Morgan Babb. 11-3 Kelvin, first quarter. Minute and 10 left. Cutting to the basket, and Hallowell got a piece. It deflects out of bounds. That was Caitlin Otto who was trying to cut to the basket. Hallowell got in the passing lane, knocked it away. Dirksey back in for Sensenig. And Sally Merrill, the Hamilton product. Hamilton High School. It's a little bit southeast of Holland, Michigan. Checks in for her first stint of the night. Ball kicked around to Skidmore, drives to the basket. Merrill on her and contested it. Shot was no good, but Adrian with the offensive board. Shot clock resets to 20. Under 50 on the game clock here in the first quarter. Pass to the baseline, a pull-up from 10 is up and in by Morgan Babb. Skidmore on the assist. 11-5. About 10 seconds between shot clock and game clock here. Here's Hallowell on the baseline, up top to Dirksey. Backdoor feed, Fernandez with the layup. Dirksey with a pretty assist. Well, Adrian can play for one here. 13-5, about 15 ticks left in this opening quarter. Skidmore will hand it off. That's Babb up top. Now Otto. Pass inside, Weatherly goes up. Short off the window, got her own board, goes up and left it short. Had two good cracks at the basket and neither fell. And at the end of one, it's Kelvin 13 and Adrian 5. Let's give you a look at today's MIAA women's schedule. Around the MIAA. Around the MIAA is brought to you by NAI Wazinski, West Michigan. West Michigan's largest independently owned commercial real estate firm. Today's women's schedule on top of the 6 o'clock tip has St. Mary's at Kalamazoo, 7 o'clock tip. Albion is at the University of Olivet, also 7 o'clock tip. And Trine University is at Alma tonight. It's a 7:30 p.m. contest at the Art Smith Arena up there in Alma, and Hope College has the bye tonight. As most of you may know, there are 9 MIAA women's teams with St. Mary's in as the lone all-women's school in the MIAA. So you've got 8 men's schools that compete and 9 on the women's. So when you have 9, somebody's got to sit out once each night, at least as far as conference play. And Hope does not have a non-conference game going this evening. Pretty rare to have a non-conference game in the midst of a league schedule. Once you start getting into January, occasionally you see it, but not too often. So 13-5, just got the full first quarter stats here. Adrian 2 of 12 from the floor. Kelvin 6 of 18. So you do the math, 33% field goal shooting for Kelvin, 16.7% for Adrian. Turnovers 8 for Adrian, 3 for Kelvin. 5 steals for the Knights, 4 from Anna Fernandez, who has 4 steals. That's pretty impressive. Blocked shots, you got 1 for Kelvin's Hannah Saul and 1 for twin sister, well, triplet sister Lydia Saul. So they have a triplet sibling, a brother, Quentin, who's on the Kelvin men's basketball team. So I always want to say the twins, but it's technically a triplet. Adrian has the ball to start the second quarter, and that is Skidmore working off a screen, pulls up at the free throw line, passes it inside, and are we going to have a travel or a foul? LaRue bumped into, I think we're going to call a kick ball on Adrian. It was Otto who was losing her footing there. I thought it would either be a travel or a foul, and instead they called a kick ball on Adrian, so it turns it over to Kelvin. LaRue with a hard take in, puts it off the high glass and down. 10-point Kelvin lead. And she's got 7 of Kelvin's 15 points so far. Had a real impressive showing against Hope on Saturday. Did the sophomore at Grand Rapids Christian High School, located about 3 miles away from this Kelvin campus. I think that went off of Adrian, and it did. It went off of Ick's leg there as she was driving to the basket through the left side. Chloe Wiggers at the controls and brings it over the timeline. Hoops it into Hannah Saul. Little up and under left-handed move, and that one matched the floater that her sister Lydia had in the last quarter. First points of the game for Hannah Saul. 17-5. Darcy Leanerth had it a moment ago. Now Ix in the high post. Kicks it to the right wing. Driving to the basket is Babb. Got her shot block, goes up. Wild shot, got her own board. Now down on the deck, kicks it out and traveled. Weatherly coming back on, 6'1" junior out of Grosse Ile, Michigan, down in the Detroit area. A little island there in the Detroit River, if I remember correctly. One of my former student photographers was from Grosse Ile. Big soccer power in Division III, year in and year out, at least on the boys' side. Girls' side has been pretty good too, if I remember. Here is Dirksey in the reverse layup. A little strong and a rebound, ripped down by Babb. On the dribble is Skidmore. Merrill still in the game and defending tightly. Lehnerth pulled up her dribble and skidded the pivot foot. It'll be a turnover for Adrian. Subs. Lydia Saul back in. Hannah Saul stays in. Sally Merrill just checked out. Dirksey checked out. And let's see, we've got Custer, one of Kelvin's other freshmen that has been seen some time. It's a pass into Hannah Saul, left it short, got her own board and put it back up and in. 19-5, and this Kelvin lead is really starting to build. Pass inside, left-handed layup is up and in. That was Weatherly, a good pass from the wing. I think that was Lish who had the assist on that one. LaRue going on the baseline, went up and got fouled. So Jamie Custer into the game, one of Kelvin's other freshmen. She's out of Galena, Ohio. Worthington Christian High School product in the Columbus area. Same high school that produced the great Allie Spade, who scored over 1,460 points in her Kelvin career. Now one of the coaches down at Worthington Christian. A big Buckeye fan, as Allie would let you know. Of course, she comes by that honestly, as Worthington very close to Columbus, where she grew up. Both free throws are good by LaRue, and congrats to Allie. She's getting married this summer, so pretty excited about that, I know. She is, that is. She does check in on the Kelvin Knights frequently. One of those loyal alum. We had a lot of loyal Kelvin women's basketball alum out here on Saturday for that Kelvin Hope game. Here's a three from the wing. Hannah Lish makes it 21-9. Had quite a few alum from Hope here as well, and that's part of the rivalry there. It brings out the loyalties for sure. There'll be a foul on Skidmore. Her first, team second of the quarter. Wiggers on the baseline, kicks it left wing. It was Lydia Saul had it for a minute. Now Custer up top. Hannah Saul to LaRue. 15 on the shot clock. Custer will take it to the basket off the window short. And Weatherly got the board and a foul, I believe, on Lydia Saul. Yep. That'll be her first, team first of the quarter. Back in for the Bulldogs, Hicks. Remember, it's 5 fouls in a quarter that puts you in the bonus. It's been that way since, boy, how long has it been since we've gone to quarters? Since 2022, I think? Maybe it's more than that. Actually, I think it goes back to 2017. 2017 or 2018, we've been going with the quarters. Time flies. Here's a steal by Chloe Wiggers. Just picked the pocket of Skidmore. Was a little loose with the ball, and Wiggers said, "Thank you very much, I'll take that." Passes it in to Hannah Saul. Throws it back door, and boy, those backdoor feeds have just not worked between Wiggers and Hannah Saul. So it'll be a turnover on the Knights. 21-9, Kelvin in the lead, 6:15 to go, second quarter. At the controls is Hannah Lish. Freshman out of Farmington Hills, Michigan. St. Catherine of Siena Academy product is Lish. Here's Skidmore, and she traveled. Got bumped around a little bit, but not before she shuffled the feet. So here comes Chloe Wiggers. Played quite a bit as a freshman, so moving into that starting point guard role was not a big culture shock for her. She had played significant minutes a year ago. Knights moving it around the horn. Custer leaves it over to Lydia Saul. Goes hard to the basket. Left-hander, a little short. Rebound ripped down by Ix, and here comes Skidmore. Pulls up the dribble, pass inside. Goes Morgan Babb. Shot blocked by Lydia Saul. She went up there with her sister Hannah Saul. Babb just got ganged up there with the two Salt sisters. I was going to call that the Malachi Crunch, but you'd have to be a Happy Days fan from the early 1980s to get that reference. Got substitutions on both sides, and now I think they're going to talk about the shot clock and game clock here. So now it moves down to 4:56 and 28 on the shot clock. So it should be a media timeout if we are under 5.
That sounds about right. So we got 20 on the shot then.
All right, so I think the clock kept running there. You're going to bump it back up to 5:23 and keep 20 on the shot clock. So no media timeout yet. There's Ix going back door, and it's knocked out of bounds by Adrian. Boy, those backdoor feeds for both sides, just not there. That was Otto who was trying to corral it. Dirksey up top to Wiggers, looking inside. Sensenig just checked back in. On the cut, Custer in the post. Kicks it up to Dirksey. 17-footer. Little floater up and in, and a foul. A finger roll. George Gervin style for Val Dirksey. We'll take it. And we are under 5 minutes on the clock, which will mean a media timeout before the Dirksey charity toss. So we'll step away here for a moment. I can tell you that today's first half is brought to you by Skipper and Osterink Wealth Management, partnering with you to help unlock your financial potential and build your legacy. Folks, if you are our guest, if you are on a quest to find the best breakfast place near you, your search ends here at Anna's House. Discover how Anna's House is saving the world from an ordinary breakfast by visiting any of our 12 restaurants across Michigan. And if you're here at Calvin University, you can find an Anna's House just up the East Beltline about 2 miles south. And I can tell you that it is a tremendous breakfast restaurant. Also pretty good for lunch and dinner, but boy, breakfast is what they specialize in. So I would definitely keep an eye on that if you're looking for something good to eat in the morning hours. Also, stay tuned for today's halftime powered by Applied Innovation. We'll get you caught up on today's game stats, and you'll hear about all the exciting aspects happening at Calvin University. That's today's halftime show, which will be powered by Applied Innovation. Practical advice and cutting-edge technology to drive your business forward. It's Applied Innovation. So Dirksey at the line to try to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. Eyes it, flies it, leaves it short, and a rebound ripped down by Ix. Adrian the other way. That was Otto, leaves it over to Lish. Into the game is Ania Riley. Saw her for a moment in the first quarter. Lish picked up the dribble. Pretty young Adrian squad pull-up jumper, no. And a rebound taken down by Wiggers. Fairly youthful Calvin team, although they've got a handful of seniors. And one of them, Val Dirksey, got the rebound right there. It's a three from the top short. Hit the front iron. That was Wiggers there. And Lish got the rebound. Otto goes up, got her shot blocked by Wiggers. Dirksey the board. Now Wiggers on the fast break. Pulls up on the dribble, kicks left wing to Sensenig. Kicks right side, Fernandez. Thought about the three, instead waits for the pick. Nothing there on the roll. Fernandez had a 15-footer, decided not to shoot it. 10 on the shot clock. Wiggers, a floater off the backboard, no. And Riley with the board. Quickly the other way is Hannah Lish. Leaves it to Riley. And now Otto. Ooh, Fernandez read it well, almost got the pick. Stays with Adrian though. 12 on the shot clock. High post Ix. He's going to put it on the deck, working on Sensenig. Right side, a three on the way. It's up and in for Hannah Lish. The St. Catherine of Siena Academy graduate makes it 23-12. Here's a three for Calvin Custer, no, short. And a rebound ripped down by Otto. Otto out of Bloomfield Christian School. In the Detroit area, three from the left wing. Off by Lish, but it's Otto with the board. Back to Lish. Under 3 to go, first half. 23-12, Calvin in the lead. Custer cuts off Lish, and she won't get a shot off. It will be a shot clock violation. Second of the game for Adrian. Wholesale subs for Calvin. Couple for Adrian. Skidmore coming back on for Adrian. Also coming on for the Bulldogs is Morgan Babb. Can just tell you the Calvin lineup now. Dirksey does stay in. Back in at point guard, Gabby Hallowell. Sensenig stays in. Allie Mays is in, and Caitlin LaRue just checked in. And LaRue's got the ball. Spins, turns, kicks it up top. Mays gets her out of jail there. Almost a 5-second call. Looking inside LaRue, nothing. Dirksey looking to go to the basket. Instead gives it over to Mays. 1 on the shot clock, and that will be a shot clock violation. That's where the Knights probably needed to just get to the basket and get a shot off. Adrian with the basketball. Skidmore to Babb. Now Ix. Gives it over to Lish, and she'll try to get to the basket again, and she gets fouled from behind by Hallowell. If you're a fan of the Premier Soccer League in England, it's like West Ham just fired their manager, Julian Lobatugui, and they hired Graham Potter. Potter has coached, I think, at Brighton Hove and Albion, and most recently at Chelsea. That didn't go very well for him, but he's a pretty accomplished manager. I think West Ham trying to stave off relegation. 2 free throws are up and in by Lish, and Adrian putting up a few points here in the last few possessions. 23-14. Deficit under double digits now. Here is Sensenig, little fade away from the right baseline, well off the mark, and ripped down by Ix. Skidmore passing to the post. Dirksey reached in, couldn't get to the ball. Flex back up high. Skidmore has got a double screen. He's going to go to the basket, cut off. Left corner, Leinerth drives to the left elbow, nothing there. We got 7 on the shot clock. Lish is going to try to make something happen again. She'll go to the basket. Swings it to the corner. 3 no good by Skidmore, and here comes Calvin. LaRue's going to go all the way to the hole and up and in off the Dirksey board and pass. Fast break opportunity. LaRue with 9 first half points. Leinerth on the dribble, hands it off to Skidmore. Calvin up 25-14. Babb dribbles it off her leg and out of bounds. Turnover. Sends it back to Calvin. Here comes Hannah Saul in for Sensenig. Anna Fernandez coming back in. 40 seconds left in the first half. Knights get another shooter in the lineup. So you got Fernandez and LaRue. And Hallowell, who's yet to shoot one, she's got pretty good range herself. You've got the two post players, and Dirksey and Hannah Saul. Hannah Saul has it at the free throw line, trying to back a defender down. Spins, goes up with the left hand, off the back iron and down. Her second bucket of the game. She's got 4, 27-14. See if Adrian plays for one. Hand off to Lish. Kicks it left side. Leinert. Pass to Ix. High post again. 6 on the clock. Skidmore is going to go hard to the basket. Puts it up. Off the iron. No. And Hannah Saul rips it down. And at halftime, Calvin leads it 27-14. All right, got a little Mercantile Bank promotion here. The half-court shot promotion. Got Sam DeMay coming out here. And they'll get that underway in just a moment as the teams exit the court. And I'll have halftime stats here for you in just a moment. Also brought to you by Mercantile Bank, our halftime shot promotion sponsor. Mercantile Bank, home of Merc Perks Plus Checking and Merc Start Account. Just waiting for the halftime stats here. As soon as we get those, I will read them off for you. Well, I can bring up the old live stats here while we are waiting. First half stats brought to you by Mercantile Bank. Adrian 5 of 23, 21%. Calvin 12 of 33 for 36.4%. Knights 1 of 6 from 3. Adrian 1 of 4 from 3. Free throws, Calvin 2 of 3, Adrian 3 of 4. Rebounds, Adrian with 23, Calvin with 17. Let's see if I can bring up some of the turnovers here. So we got the old half-court shot from mid-court. Oh, it was right on line. They get 2 shots here. I think they're playing for $100. They can make a shot. It's up there, and it is, just off. That looked pretty good. But probably the 2 best shots I've seen so far in this promotion. Brought to you by Mercantile Bank. All right, going back through the stats here. Turnover 17 for Adrian. That's pretty telling. 5 for Kelvin. So Adrian winning the battle of the boards, but as far as hanging on to the basketball, Adrian struggling, and that has led to 6 fast break points for Kelvin. Individually scoring, Adrian led by Hannah Lish, 7 points, and you got 2 points apiece for Bab, Ix, and Weatherly. Kelvin, let's see if I can turn it over here on my live stats, led by Caitlin LaRue. I think I was off a bucket somewhere, but she's got 11 first half points, 4 of 4 from the floor, and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. 6 points for Hannah Saul, so I was off there too. I think I had her for 4, but she's got 6. And then 4 for Anna Fernandez, 4 for Val Dirksey, and 2 for Lydia Saul. So I think I inadvertently gave Lydia Saul an extra basket somewhere along the line. Block shots, 2 for Hannah Saul, 2 for Lydia Saul. And I think I mentioned earlier 4 steals for Anna Fernandez and 2 for Chloe Wigger. So there are your halftime stats brought to you by Mercantile Bank. I want to thank Mercantile Bank for being a great sponsor this year. Sponsored our pregame football game ball presentation this year. That was a great hit. Really appreciated that. And now getting involved here with Kelvin men's and women's basketball here. Well, I'm going to take a little break, and I will be back in about 5 minutes. We'll try to get you a little bit up to date around the league.
I've wanted to be a teacher since I was in preschool. As a teacher, I know that I am called to not only make an impact on the students that I teach, but to help them come up with creative solutions to be change agents themselves that Calvin has instilled in me to be an agent of renewal in this world. And how can they help be a problem solver? How can they creatively come up with solutions to better not only the space that they are involved in, but the space that others are involved in as well?
I love the NABE Scholarship Program because I just love how personal these scholarships are for the alumni and for the students. Being a student who grew up in foster care and then getting a scholarship for students who were in foster care and being able to connect with that donor and see the love and the passion that they have for me and being able to resonate with me and what I've gone through. God opened doors that I didn't even know were there. I'm at Calvin and my legacy is starting here.
This is the Gainey Track and Field Complex. There are innovative features that set Calvin's facilities apart from other universities. First, the space joins a small number of dedicated track and field facilities in NCAA Division III. This means that we don't share with football, lacrosse, soccer, any other team. Our throwing facility is adjacent to the main track. Everything is right here in one location. It's all about track and field all the time.
The best part of grad school would be the connections that you make, not only with your cohort, but with the professors as well.
I felt very supported and I don't feel alone in the program.
I just really feel like each individual in the program gets a relationship with the professors in a different way that's meaningful to them and is more geared to them.
I'm a grad student at Calvin University. Yay, okay.
The mission statement of our program is building champions for life. And I truly mean that when I say that. To me, there's two types of programs. There's transactional and there's transformational. And we are building a transformational football program here because we want our young men to leave prepared for the rest of their lives. And so when we talk about being champions, we talk about 4 different areas. In the classroom, in the community, on the field, and then champions of our faith. And all 4 pieces are so important to what we're doing.
Where will the next revolutionary idea come from? That next breakthrough in scientific research? At Calvin University, you can dream bigger, think deeper, aim higher. Our world-class faculty push students to keep asking hard questions and never settle for the status quo. Become part of a university that challenges students to go beyond as Christ's agents of renewal in the world. Calvin University, go beyond.
My name is Nate Napper. I'm a 2008 graduate of Calvin University, and I'm currently a special agent with the FBI. I'm also an attorney, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Joseph Project. I'm of the opinion that there is no reason why every single human trafficking survivor in need of legal services shouldn't be given those services free of charge. And the idea was to connect them with pro bono legal help so that they could resolve that legal collateral damage and move forward into a brighter future. I've always resonated with the idea that we could be agents of renewal, right? That we could work and cooperate alongside the vision that God has for the world. If you're willing to submit to his path in obedience, dream the dreams that he would have you enact for the world, I think that you'll go places that you would never imagine going.
This year has definitely changed my world. I'm making an impact here. It feels good to know every day that I'm growing in my abilities that I love, which is film, and I'm also growing as a believer in faith.
I'm really thankful that I was able to do work in my field during school, at school, and that has given me the confidence to move forward with doing my own independent work and getting to put my foot in that door before I even graduate. I don't think I would have found elsewhere.
At Calvin, our faith in God and pursuit of excellence drives us. Our new soccer stadium reflects that commitment, offering a premier space for our student athletes to compete on and off the field. Whether you're an athlete, a summer camper, or a spectator, join our community of Knights at Calvin University.
Join the next generation of global business leaders at Calvin University School of Business. offering 8 undergraduate majors and 2 master's degrees, and exceptional faculty with real-world experience who will partner with you and guide you along the way, and opportunities to participate in internships, study abroad programs, and hands-on learning experiences. This is Calvin University School of Business. Your future begins here.
I love working downtown Grand Rapids, being able to go to class and then come here and do work where the theory that I learned in the classroom really did apply.
I think the Calvin interns, they have this well-balanced background, right? I also think that Calvin does a really nice job preparing them in communication.
I think the Calvin Network is phenomenal, and that is a huge help of making me feel comfortable knowing that my education is preparing me super well for the rest of my life. So knowing that I can see people being successful in their lives who went through the same educational system as me is very encouraging.
The Nord Arena, Jeff Vivas, Sports Information Director at Calvin University. Calvin women's hoops leading Adrian 27-14. Went over the first half stats a moment ago. Adrian with the 17 turnovers. Kind of the telling stat of the first half. Neither team shooting particularly well from the floor, but that defense for Calvin has been pretty good. Looking at some of the other sports news, of course, we have some wildfires going on out there in the Los Angeles area, so something to keep an eye on. See, the Los Angeles Kings have postponed their home games due to wildfires, and was just reading earlier this afternoon that all of the area in and around the Rose Bowl Stadium has been shut down because the fires are that close. From looking at the map there, it looks like fires are just on the other side of the hills there, the ravines. So kind of a scary situation. Something to keep an eye on. Really wasn't aware of the wildfire situation until watching the Michigan men's basketball game against UCLA last night. That was in the Los Angeles area at UCLA, Pauley Pavilion, and they spent some time prior to the game talking about the wildfires. So send all of our good wishes and thoughts and prayers out to the folks out there right now. Back here at Nord Arena and in Grand Rapids, Michigan, it's pretty cold, wet, and snowy. Temps are in the 20s, have been that way really since about New Year's Day. It's kind of frozen things over a fair amount. Had a good chunk of snow right after New Year's, and it stayed pretty snow-less as far as, significant amounts of added snow over the last handful of days, but they're predicting more snow tonight and into the morning. Just your typical January weather here in Grand Rapids, especially along the lakeshore. We're about 25, 26, 27 miles away from Lake Michigan. A lot of times, for those of you that are familiar, I'm sure most of you are, precipitation gets picked up off the lake where it's not been frozen and gets dumped down as snowfall on land. Frequently, that is throughout West Michigan. I live about 15 miles from the lake, so we tend to get a little bit more snow than they do right in Grand Rapids, out in Hudsonville, where I'm from. Men's basketball game coming up later tonight. The game to follow. They've yet to tip off on any of these 7 o'clock games. We're a few minutes prior to 7, but again, on the women's side, St. Mary's at Kalamazoo, Albion at Olivet, and Trine at Elma. Moving over to the men's side tonight, Elma is at Adrian, 7 o'clock tip, the Marilot Center. Kalamazoo is at Trine at the MTI Center, 7 o'clock tip. Olivet is at Hope at DeVos Fieldhouse. That's a 7:30 p.m. tip, and the approximate tip time for the men's game here tonight at Nord Arena is Albion and Kelvin. And it is opening night in the MIAA men's basketball chase. Let's have a look at the MIAA women's basketball standings. Again, they started back in early December, the conference schedule, and sometimes they'll start, depending on when Thanksgiving starts, sometimes they start, well, there's even been years where they have started before Thanksgiving. But frequently they'll start around November 29, November 30. This year I think it was December 1 was the first night. League standings has Hope on top at 4-0, Trine 3-0. Those are the teams that have handed Kelvin its 2 league defeats thus far. Adrian 2-1, Kelvin 2-2, Alma 2-2, Albion 2-2, Olivet 1-3, Kalamazoo 0-3, and St. Mary's 0-3. Kelvin women have Kalamazoo here at home Saturday at 3. Kelvin men will be at Kalamazoo on Saturday. That'll be a 1 o'clock tip time on the men's side. So there is your whip around in the MIAA. Hey, if you are a fan of Kelvin basketball, and I'll read this a couple of times, you need to mark your calendar for each Monday night in February. Next month, starting February 3, Big E's Restaurant on the East Beltline, just a mile south of Kelvin's campus on the East Beltline, will be the home for Inside Kelvin Basketball, 30-minute program featuring men's basketball coach Bill Saul, plus coaches and players from the men's and women's basketball team. Coach Christner will be there as well. The show airs live on 96.1 The Game and Michigan Sports Radio. You are welcome to join the live audience and enjoy the delicious menu items from Big E's. That's Inside Kelvin Basketball, starting Monday, February 3 at Big E's and on 96.1 FM The Game and Michigan Sports Radio. Opening moments here of the third quarter. Kelvin has it, and we're going to have a turnover on Val Dirksey, who got tied up. Going up for the jump shot. Morgan Babb was there to cut her off. Be a turnover on the night. Turnover number 6 on the evening. Going to the basket. Oh, nice little look away by Skidmore. Got it over to Ix and left it short on her layup attempt. Ripped down by Hannah Saul. Now Wiggers and now Fernandez. Entry pass. Oh, Saul had an opening to the basket. Didn't realize it. Kicks it back out. A 3 from the wing. Short. Dirksey got a piece. And it is taken down by Leinerth. Now Skidmore. And a steal. Steal number 5 for Anna Fernandez. So go to the basket. Lefty off the window and in. Getting into Sarah Andersma territory with all these steals. 29-14 blast from the past. Leinerth up top. Kicks it to Ix. Going hard to the hole and swatted from behind by Hannah Saul. She's got 3 blocks. And a layup is up and in by Babb. And a turnover by Kelvin, and a sloppy one at that. Dirksey will check out. One other Kelvin player checked out. Got both Saul sisters in. Lydia just came in to join Hannah. Caitlin LaRue back in. Adrian with the basketball. 29-16, Kelvin on top. Skidmore entry pass and just fumbled off the hands of Babb. Turns it back to Kelvin. Caitlin LaRue at the controls and tipped out of bounds. The record for steals in a single game is 8. Sarah Andersma, who I mentioned earlier, one of them to do it, and Karen Heemstra, another. Andersma of Covenant Christian here in the Grand Rapids area, and Heemstra out of Hudsonville Unity Christian High School. Here is Wiggers going to the basket, getting fouled, and she'll shoot a pair. Record for steals in a single season. Speaking of Hudsonville Unity Christian, Jody Van Ord, also out of Unity. 99 in her senior year of 98-99. Team that went to the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament, and she was a great ball hawk. Could have played free safety on the football team. She had that kind of mentality out there. Really good soccer player as well as a guard on the basketball team. Both free throws good by Wiggers. 31-16. Kick to the right corner, that's Lish. Had 7 in the first half. Pass up top to Ix. Now Babb. 10 on the shot clock. Pass tipped. Lydia Saul got a piece of it and deflects right to LaRue. So another turnover by Adrian. And Saul who looking backdoor, nothing there. LaRue. Over to Lydia Saul. There's the backdoor feed. Fernandez left it short. Was all alone there and just couldn't get it high enough off the glass. The ball out of bounds to Adrian. Weatherly back in and Riley back in for Adrian. Riley out of Sterling Heights, Michigan, Westfield Prep High School. Lish at the controls at the point right now for Adrian. Near steal by Fernandez, that would have been number 6. Lehnert pulling up, and that's going to be off the mark. Just got a little bit of the iron, and a foul on Lydia Saul on the swat attempt. It'll send Riley to the line for a pair. Free throw is up and in. 31-17, 6:54 to go, third quarter. Missed the second rebound, taken down by Lydia Saul. Chloe Wiggers has it, man-to-man by Adrian. Hand off to Hannah Saul. Double team comes. Knights looking for the open player, and they've got it, and Lydia Saul too strong off the board. And Riley with a rebound, but she stepped out of bounds before getting rid of it. The Knights will maintain possession. Actually, they're going to put it at 20, so they said, they're going to talk about it. They're going to say, did Adrian have clear possession of the ball? If they did, they would reset it to 30, but they're going to say, no, they did not, so it resets to 20. Caitlin LaRue, pass on the cut to Fernandez. Pass inside was wayward to Lydia Saul, and another turnover by the Knights. I'll tell you that Coach Christner will not be real pleased with the offensive execution here in this one. Otto kicks it to the left side. 3 is on the way and no good by Lehnert. And here's Kelvin on the break. Beautiful feed and 2 strong Wiggers on the layup. Wow. I just can't convert the old puppies, as they say. Both Saul sisters check out. Sensening and Dirksey back in. And a Lish into the front court. It's a little help on the pick and roll by Lehnert. Weatherly on the high screen leaves it off to Lehnert, and her shot is no good, not out of bounds. Here comes Gabby Hallowell for Wiggers. Adrian's got Skidmore back in, replaces Lehnert. Hallowell moves it over to Dirksey. Fernandez going hard to the basket and got fouled on the feed. Just kicking it to LaRue in the corner. Pretty good cut to the basket by Fernandez. A lot of Lansing products from both sides out there. Fernandez out of the Lansing area. Looking inside for Dirksey. Not there, instead gets the high screen. Pulls up her dribble. Oh, had Dirksey, they still have her. Inside, goes up, layup good. There you go. Good defensive, or good offensive set right there. 33-17. Feed up top to Otto. Hand off to Lish. Pass in the post, stolen away by Sensenig. Here comes Fernandez. On the break, thinking about going to the basket, instead leaves it over to Dirksey. Goes up, left-handed layup, good. There you go, Val Dirksey with a cup of confidence. 2 baskets in a row and a timeout taken by Adrian. 35-17, 4:47 left in the third quarter, and that will be our media timeout. Well, I don't want to sound like this coming to you in stereo. I was first telling you that I was giving you those MIAA standings. Again, I've got the men's non-conference standings. I gave you those standings earlier, but that's brought to you by NAIA Winsinski, there we go, of West Michigan, providing all facets of commercial real estate services. Our public address, folks, just talking about it right now, but today's Calvin Women's Sports Report, which we do each game, is presented by Lake Michigan Credit Union. Graduate student Maggie Farrell, the Calvin Women's Swim Team, has had a sparkling start to her final season of collegiate swimming. Last semester, Maggie set a school record in the 100 butterfly and is currently ranked 4th nationally in the event, as well as 9th in the 50 freestyle. She is part of a Calvin Women's Swim Team that is ranked 15th in Division III. That's tonight's Calvin Women's Sports Report, presented by Lake Michigan Credit Union, where members really like earning more when they save and paying less when they borrow. Calvin Women's Sports Report, brought to you by Lake Michigan Credit Union. Coming out of the timeout, you've got Allie Mays, Gabby Hallowell, Caitlin LaRue, Valerie Dirksey, and Sophie Sensenig in for Calvin. You've got Skidmore, Lish, Babb, Weatherly, and Otto in for Adrian. Little man-to-man, full court pressure by Calvin. Skidmore weathers that. It's out of Riverview, Michigan. Detroit area. Weatherly has the high post, leaves it off to Skidmore. Trying to go to the basket, lost it, and picked up by Hallowell. Dirksey might have poked it free. Dirksey got the pass on the baseline. Reverse off the iron. Batted around, Sensenig got a piece, and it's Mays. And now LaRue for a 3, in and out. We're gonna have a foul from behind on Sensenig. All right, we're gonna go to a media timeout, so that last one did not default into a media timeout. That was a full timeout taken by the head coach of Adrian. And we will go to the full timeout. Again, today's second half brought to you by Skipper and Ostrink Wealth Management, retirement planning that seeks to deliver the retirement outcomes you deserve. Again, if you're on a quest to find the best breakfast place near you, your search ends here at Anna's House. Discover how Anna's House is saving the world from an ordinary breakfast by visiting any of its 12 restaurants across Michigan. See here, I know we have one more read that I want to get to, and I have it in my folder. I don't have it on my master list, but it's this month in Calvin Athletics history. That's provided or presented by Applied Innovation. Today, this month in Calvin Athletics history, sponsored by Applied Innovation, highlights the 1990 Calvin men's basketball team that captured the MIAA regular season title and later became the first team in program history to reach the Final Four of the NCAA Division III tournament. 1990 Calvin men's basketball team, led by head coach Ed Dalma, finished 28-3 overall. and 12-0 in the MIAA. This month in Calvin Athletics history is presented by Applied Innovation, connecting Calvin alums for 35 years. Full court press by Calvin again. Adrian trying to inbound, stolen away by Custer, just checked in. Custer has it, launches a three, gonna be short. Trying to get her own rebound, goes out of bounds off of who? Off of Adrian. It'll stay with Calvin. That ball was apparently tipped off the carom. Gabby Hallowell. Little shake and bake off the window and in. Gabby Hallowell, her first 2 points of the ball game. 37-17, Calvin up 20. Skidmore, nice pass to Weatherly and puts it off the window on the jump stop. Went back from where she came and found the open player. 37-19. Handoff to Allie Mays, behind the back dribble. Little Euro step move off the window and in. 39-19, back to a 20-point Calvin lead. Skidmore into the front court there, pulls it back out. Emma McElroy is into the game out of Van Buren Township to Washtenaw Christian Academy. Ann Arbor area. And a turnover by Skidmore. Dirksey came up with it, running the floor. Sensenig off the window and in. Now the Knights are converting on those transition buckets. 41-19. Adrian starting to wilt a little bit. Long drive across the state here for a midweek game. Always tough when you have to play that Wednesday game, either at Adrian or at Calvin, depending on which side you're on as the road team. Gonna have a foul on McElroy. It was going to the basket. Gonna say contact to the head. That's on Sensenig, her second. Team third of the third quarter. Ix is back in for Adrian. At the line, it's McElroy. Puts it up and in. 41-20. Second free throw, also good. Back in for the Bulldogs, Leinerth, at Potterville High School, out of Lansing, Michigan. So you got Leinerth out of the Lansing area, Hallowell out of the Lansing area. Just had, well, no, Allie Mae still in. She's out of East Lansing. Got 3 Lansing products in right now. Sensenig out of the Chicago area. Saw her brother Eli in the stands. Works in town. Recent Calvin men's basketball alum and grad. Shot was short by Hallowell. Rebounded by Bab of Adrian, and I think Mays got called for the foul. Yep, she did, and that is foul number 4. So the next one will put Adrian into a shooting situation. As I mentioned before, Eli was a tremendous player for Calvin men's basketball. Outstanding defensive player in particular. Really fun guy to have in the program. Just got better and better throughout his career. Free throw or shot was no good by Bab. She'll get free throws. That is the 5th foul. I think Dirksey got tagged for the foul there. Free throw number 1 is off the mark by Bab, who's got quite a few family members in the stands. Out of nearby Caledonia. Second free throw also off the mark, rebounded by Sensenig. Here's Hallowell. Little crossover dribble into the lane. To Dirksey, goes to the corner. Sensenig a 3, it's up, it's in and out. Ripped down by Custer. Kicks it up to Hallowell. Good ball movement. Mays. Little crossover dribble. Now to the corner. Open 3. Custer. It's up there. It's in and out. Taken away by Otto. Going hard to the basket and putting it down is Bab, and Hallowell called for a foul. Free throw up and in. So the old-fashioned three-point play completed by Babb. Full court press by Adrian. Little jump and run. Dirksey is going to lose the ball, but not before Adrian is called for, or did they call it? Yeah, they called a turnover on Kelvin and then Dirksey on the foul. So that will be a two-shot situation for Adrian. So a fresh five for Kelvin. You got Sally Merrill back on, both Saul sisters, Anna Fernandez and Chloe Wiggers back in for the Knights. At the line is Skidmore, puts it up there and gets it. Two-shot situation. 1:20 left in the third quarter, beg your pardon. Second one up there and in, 41-26. So Adrian chipping into this Kelvin lead. It was as many as 21 at one juncture. And got that full court press by Adrian, and Kelvin breaks it. Merrill had it, now leaves it to Fernandez. Outside the arc. Wiggers to Sally Merrill. Lydia Saul kicks it the corner to Wiggers. Fernandez got a screen from Lydia Saul. Fernandez pulls up from 14. It's up there and it's in there. 43-26. Skidmore going to the basket. Off the window and in. Check the live stats. She's got to be close to double digits. 35 seconds left on the game clock and 20 on the shot clock. Pass inside now, right baseline, no by Merrill. Rebound by Hannah Saul, lost it, or Lydia Saul, beg your pardon. Here's Wiggers for a three up top, in and out. Rebounded to Hannah Saul. Knights could play for one if they want, but a half-second difference between game clock and shot clock. Hannah Saul on the baseline got fouled. That'll be foul number 3 on Adrian here. Well, 5 points for Skidmore. I thought she had more than that, but that's what our stats say. Ooh, Merrill was open. They missed her. Here's Fernandez. A three, though. It's up. No. Rebounded by Wiggers on the baseline. 10 left. Pass to Lydia Saul, and she got fouled pretty hard by Babb. It's going to be a no-doubt situation on preventing any made field goals there. So Lydia Saul at the line. It's had a good game off the bench. Free throw, in and out. It's got 2 points, a couple of blocked shots, a couple of rebounds. Free throw up, missed that one. And a rebound to Adrian, 7 on the clock. Otto, pass inside, knocked out of bounds, 1.8 on the clock. Be a baseline play for Adrian here. Skidmore to trigger. Pass to the corner, pull up is off the side of the backboard and no by Leinerth, and that will end the third quarter. Kelvin up 43-28. Remember, folks, to stay with us after the game for the Big E's post-game show. The best place to watch all this weekend sports is Big E's Sports Grill, just south of Calvin's campus on the East Beltline. The Big E's post-game show features final stats, analysis, and our selection for player of the game. And I can tell you, they have got some big screens and all sorts of television sets and that type of thing to watch your favorite sporting event at Big E's Sports Grill, just down the road, about a mile from the Calvin campus, just south. Looking at the stats here, Adrian 9 of 33 from the floor, 27% shooting. Kelvin 19 of 53, now down to 35.8%. Was at 36.8% at the halftime break. Let's see, leading scorer, Caitlin LaRue has 11, 8 for Anna Fernandez, 8 for Val Dirksey, and 6 for Hannah Saul. 4 Adrian, 7 for Morgan Babb, 7 for Hannah Lish, 5 for Kylie Skidmore, and 4 for Ashlyn Weatherly. So Kelvin will trigger. Caitlin LaRue is in, along with the Saul sisters, Wiggers, and Anna Fernandez. Lydia Saul, high post, backdoor feed, LaRue off the window and in. Grand Rapids Christian grad to the Grand Rapids Christian grad. They got good chemistry. Played 3 years together in high school. Now 2 more years so far here at Kelvin. That's 13 for LaRue. Shot blocked by Lydia Saul and ripped down by Fernandez, and a foul on Riley. I believe that is the 3rd block for Lydia Saul. So Lydia and Hannah with 3 block shots apiece. Lead pass to Fernandez. Kelvin breaks that pressure. Kicks it to Wiggers. Pass into the post. Lydia Saul off the window, and she got hammered by the Bulldogs. I think that is on Riley. Second foul in the last few minutes for her. 2nd on the game. Lydia at the line and puts it down. Give her 3 points on the game. Second one is up there, long, but her sister Hannah Saul is there to corral the offensive board. Fernandez thought about the 3, leaves it over to Wiggers. Got a screen from Lydia Saul. Now Hannah Saul, high-low pass, they'll kick it right side. A 3 on the way from LaRue, deep. Battle for the rebound. Fernandez has it and throws it off of Adrian, but they're going to say that Fernandez stepped out of bounds before she could do so. So into the game again is Emma McElroy of Adrian, and she is at the controls. Up top, Weatherly, back to McElroy. Ooh, Fernandez with a little bump, no foul called. Now Riley went down, did the splits a little bit, lost the ball. Here comes LaRue. Fernandez, a 3, she'll pump it up there and got it. Anna Fernandez. Now in double digits, she's got 11. A triple in transition. How's that for alliteration? 49-28, 8:20 to go in this contest. Weatherly leaves it over to Lish. Lish thought about the pull-up, nothing there. Now McElroy to the basket and got hammered by Hannah Saul. So McElroy will go back to the line. We're going to have a timeout taken by the Knights. Well, not yet. Got Coach Christner talking to our official J.R. Schoon. Ooh, free throw, nothing but the cool Fedora Arena night air. Another one forthcoming for McElroy. Off the rim. And last touch by Babb. Skidmore back into the lineup for Adrian. Chloe Wiggers. Into the corner, a little trapping defense by Adrian. Little hook by LaRue. Gets away with it. Knights trying to beat that double team. Here's a shot up. No, but a foul. Little hip bump by Otto, who hails from Rochester Hills, Michigan. It's up near Pontiac, where the old Pontiac Silverdome used to be, which was the former home of the Detroit Lions and the Detroit Pistons. And the old Michigan Panthers, the old Michigan Panthers. Now the Michigan Panthers are back again with the new spring professional football league. Used to be the old USFL. I think it's like the United Football League now. Rebound taken by Adrian, and you've got a foul on Lydia Saul. 49-28, and the Knights will have a little full court pressure here, man to man. Leinerth with it. Breaks the timeline. LaRue all over her. To the basket. Nice dump off, and a layup is up by Babb on the nice feed by Leinerth. Did a good job getting to the basket, drew the double team, and then found the open teammate. Now Fernandez got tripped up. That'll be foul number 4. Yep, 4 of the quarter on Adrian, so the Knights will be shooting from here on out. So I would say at this point, the men's basketball game will probably start closer to 8:15 than 8 o'clock. Wiggers up top, Fernandez. Now LaRue flashing to the post there. Now Fernandez off the feed from Hannah Saul, splashes it home on the 3. Here Hannah Saul went to the elbow, got the pass, and then flipped it over to Fernandez, and just like that, a couple of threes gives Fernandez 14. 6:52 to go, and Calvin up 22 points at 52-30. There's going to be a turnover by Adrian. It's going to go out of bounds. Skidmore looking for somebody up top, and there was no one to pass to. Fernandez is out. Lydia Saul and Hannah Saul out. Oh, no, Fernandez stays in. So both Saul sisters are out. And Dirksey and Sensenig came back on. Looping pass up to Wiggers. Dirksey looking back door to LaRue, puts it up and in. Now the back door is starting to open up. And LaRue is in double digits. She's got 15. Aubrey Ix. And now we're going to have a foul, I think, on either LaRue or Sensenig on LaRue, who tripped up. Leinert from behind. That is foul number 2 of the quarter. Here comes Merrill and Custer. Fernandez checks out, and LaRue checks out.
Match here. Come on, here we go. Here we go.
Knights up 24 points.
Stay connected.
Inbounds play, and it's a good one, and Otto puts it off the window and down. Pretty good pass by Skidmore there on the out-of-bounds play. Custer is in, finds Dirksey, gets a return feed. Thought about the shot. Instead kicks it up to Sensenig, who goes toward the basket and runs into Ix. They call a blocking foul. You can hear Coach Miller that, well, you can hear him right now. Pleading his case. I do feel some sympathy for his case. It's just wrong place at the wrong time as the defender. Sensenig might have been, who makes the first free throw, Sensenig might have been a little bit out of control too. But how often do you see a situation like that where they just run into a defender is not planted, and they call the defender for the foul. Wrong place, wrong time. Going to have a foul on Wiggers, who is hand checking Skidmore. (56-32), Calvin up 24, 5:48 to go, fourth quarter. Skidmore kicks it to the left side, Liner to 3, no. Knocked out of bounds by Adrian's Ix, and I think she's going to be called for a foul, push from behind. Yep, she will. So that will send I think Sensenig back to the line. I think that's Sensenig. Will shoot. Yep. She'll go up to the charity stripe. So Sophie with a chance to pad the scoring totals a bit. It's got 4 right now. Free throw up and in. 57-32. Second one also up and in. We'll ask you guys to stick around. We'll be talking to Coach Mark Christner in the post game for an interview. Go over stats and analysis of this game. Oh, they're going to call continuation and say that basket is good. Yeah, I watched the Pistons the other night with a come-from-behind win over the Portland Trailblazers and saw some of that NBA continuation, and our lead official said that one's going to count too for Kylie Skidmore. Free throw up, around and out. A rebound taken down by Dirksey. 58-34, and got a hold here on Adrian. On Bab. So again, we'll be shooting free throws. Oh, Ashley Reardon coming on for Calvin for her first minutes of the contest. Sophomore out of South Christian High School. Also out of Caledonia, which is where South Christian High School is now located. For years, it was right off at US 131 in Cutlerville. I think technically considered a little chunk of Grand Rapids, but or Grand Rapids, a Grand Rapids suburb, so it's always called Grand Rapids South Christian. Some people still call it that, but got that beautiful high school with the principal, Calvin, proud Calvin alum, Aaron Meckes, former shot put All-American here at Calvin. And that is a beautiful campus over at South Christian High School, now in Caledonia, Michigan. Go right down Kalamazoo Avenue, down toward 84th in Kalamazoo, and just before 84th, I believe, is where you run into that high school. 59-34 after the free throws. Left-handed layup up and in, and Custer or Merrill, not sure, is going to get called for the foul. I think Custer. Yep, Custer with an arm bar, says the official.
Rebound here you go.
59-36. That was Otto with the bucket, and she completes the three-point play. 59-37, 5:07 to go here. And we got a media timeout yet to come. Custer breaking the timeline. Getting valuable minutes here as a freshman. Going all the way to the basket, no. Wiggers got the ball back on the rebound. On the dribble drive, Lish on her. Sally Merrill, who played in the state semifinal game right here in Vennord Arena as a junior in high school. 2 on the shot clock. A floater by Wiggers off the iron, and a rebound and a foul. That was Weatherly got the board, and I think Merrill called for the foul. So Adrian will go to the line to shoot a pair, and we will get that media timeout. All right, just checking my script here. I believe I've got all my sponsorships in. And I do. Again, I'm going to remind you, though, that today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Applied Innovation, where innovation means more smiles for your business. And one other reminder, Mondays in the month of February, we'll start something new with Calvin basketball. The live show called Inside Calvin Basketball, 30-minute program featuring men's coach Bill Saul plus coach Mark Christner of the women's basketball team and players from each program. We'll start February 3 on Monday at Big East Restaurant on East Beltline, about a mile from campus. The show will air live at 96.1 The Game. That's an FM radio dial here in Grand Rapids. If you look up 96.1, the game on your iHeartRadio app, you can stream it that way. We'll also be on Michigan Sports Radio. That's michigansportsradio.com. You're welcome to join the live audience in person at Big E's, 6:30 to 7 on Monday nights, beginning February 3. And you can enjoy the delicious menu items from Big E's, and they do have great food. I can vouch for that. I've been there myself. That'll be Inside Calvin basketball starting Monday, February 3 at Big E's, 6:30 to 7 o'clock. And you can also listen to it live on 96.1 The Game and michigansportsradio.com. At the line is Weatherly. 6'1" junior makes the first. Got 5 points on the evening. She eyes it, flies it, and misses the second. Rebound by Reardon, and we got a tie-up. And I think it'll stay with Kelvin. It will. That's what the arrow says. Substitution. Or beg your pardon. They put the shot clock at 28. Not a change of possession. So since Kelvin was the team with possession on the tie-up, originally with possession, and since they had the arrow, shot clock does not reset. I can tell you, running the shot clock, which I've done a handful of times, can be a little bit of tricky business. You have to know what you are doing. Reardon up top to Hallowell. 3 on the way and splashes it home, does Gabby Hallowell. Reardon the assist. 62 to 38. 4 minutes left in this one. Skidmore finds Weatherly. Pass right corner. Skidmore going to the basket, pulls up her dribble. Otto leaves it over to Lish. 3 on the shot clock, a 3 on the way, going to be short by Skidmore. Battle for the board, and Merrill comes up with it, saves it. To Hallowell, pull-up jumper, good from 17. Gabby Hallowell stops and pops. Quick 5 for Gabby there. She is not shy about firing up an open look. She's got 8 points, and speaking of points, there's a bucket by Weatherly on the drive to the basket. Skidmore on the assist. That's 7 points now for Weatherly. Custer on the drive to Merrill up top. Sally Merrill gonna drive it to the basket, got fouled. That was Otto. Tag for the foul. Be a 2-shot situation. Substitutions here for Kelvin. Grace Rosser coming on for the first time. Let's see, one of the Minderhoud sisters, Lindsay Minderhoud, is in. She's a freshman out of Covenant Christian High School. Had 1 sub come on for Adrian. First free throw off the mark by Merrill. 2 more subs ready to check in for the Bulldogs. Second free throw good for Sally Merrill, so she is on the score sheet. And we've got a fresh 5 for Adrian, so I'm just going to read them to you. Emma McElroy is back in. In for the first time, Abigail Malone. Elena McCullough is in. Jenna Tierman is in for the first time. There's one other. Number 15, Lauren Barkowitz is in. And she'll pump it up there. A 3 in and out for Tierman. Got the ball back. Another 3 on the way from the top. No. And a rebound taken out by Reardon. Good board off the miss by McElroy. Here comes Kelvin with 2 minutes and change left. Behind the back dribble, Hallowell going to the hole. Missed it off the front iron, and a rebound taken down by Abigail Malone. More subs coming on for Calvin. On the block, tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Adrian, 65-40. So here comes Caitlin Tolentino for Calvin and Jenna Williams. Jenna, a sophomore out of Big Rapids. Tolentino out of, the Chicago area. Bartlett, Illinois, South Elgin High School. Let's see who's back in for Adrian. McKenna Johnson. Also checking in, Riley Troth. Well, no, Troth is going to go back to the bench, apparently. Pass inside, deflected by Tolentino, and Rosser comes up with it. Pass inside by Minderhoud. Her older brother Nate was a fine player on the Calvin men's basketball team. Reardon pulls up her dribble, right corner, Minderhoud, a three, off the iron. Rebounded by Elena McCullough, and here comes Adrian across the timeline. Minute 15 left in this one. Knights up 25. Pass up top, snagged by Bartkowitz. Here's a shot from the right wing, no, off the iron by McElroy, and a rebound by Rosser. She'll bring the ball, leaves it over to Tolentino. Now Rosser gets fouled with 57 ticks left. So Rosser will be at the line, and she'll have a chance to get into the scoring column. 10 Knights have hit the scoring column, and Rosser bidding to become number 11. And in and out. One more chance. Rosser, a native of Allendale, Michigan, out near where I live. Flips it up there and makes it. So that is number 11 on the Calvin roster as far as total number of Calvin players to get into the scoring column. Going hard to the basket and scoring. Hannah Leash, or not Hannah Leash, that's Emma McElroy. So she'll have a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play. She's got 4 points on the game, and she's got 5 points. Puts that one in there. 46 ticks left. About a 15-second differential between shot and game clock. Pass inside, Rosser, right-handed layup, and it's good. Still a little differential between shot and game clock. 68-43. Going to the basket there was Troth, and feeds it to McCullough, who lays it up and in. 68-45, and I think the Knights are just going to kill out the final 10 seconds. That does appear to be the case. Jenna Williams, not a Minderhoud. Well, Adrian's going to try to steal the basketball. And there is our final clock. So our final score here from Venord Arena. Calvin 68 and Adrian 45. Knights get back on into the win column, if you will. Move to 7-7 overall. 3-2 in the MIAA. Adrian dips to 2-2 in the MIAA. And let's see, what is that? Their overall record now. 3-10. Try to get you some final stats here in this post-game report, which is brought to you by Big E Sports Grill, the post-game show. Best place to watch all this weekend sports is Big E Sports Grill, just south of Calvin's campus on the Beltline. You're trying to watch those Division I college football playoff games, either tomorrow night or Friday, or some of the NFL playoff games. You can watch it at Big E Sports Grill, just south of Calvin's campus on the East Beltline. The Big East post-game show will feature final stats, analysis, and our selection for player of the game. So I'm going to have to think about that one, but I'll give you the stats here first of all. Let's start it out with the visitors, and we're going to have Coach Mark Christner, who will join us here for an interview when he comes back out of the locker room. Let's see, for Adrian, Babb led the way. She had 9 points. He had 7 points apiece for Lish and McCullough, 5 points apiece. for McElroy and Otto. For Kelvin, we've got 15 points for Caitlin LaRue, 14 points for Anna Fernandez, 7 points away. And here comes Coach Christner. So I think we got Coach Christner coming our way. Oh, you're talking about somebody else. Okay, we're all good. All right, so going back through the stats here. 7 points apiece for Hallowell, Sophie Senseneg. Mentioned 8 points for Val Dirksey. We had 3 for Lydia Saul, 1 for Sally Merrill, 3 for Grace Rosser, 2 for Allie Mays, and 2 for Chloe Wiggers. Other notable stats: 3 blocks for Hannah Saul, 3 blocks for Lydia Saul, 1 block for Chloe Wiggers, so 7 blocks, right about on Kelvin's average on the year. Steals, 6 steals for Kelvin's Anna Fernandez, who I'm going to name as our player of the game, as she had the 14 points and the 5 steals, a couple of 3-pointers, and she also had 1 assist. Chloe Wiggers had 3 assists. Val Dirksey had 3 assists. Dirksey also had 4 rebounds and 1 steal. Those are some of the notable stats. Well, now they give Fernandez with 5 steals, but hey, who's counting? We are. Let's see, team stats here. Just going through things. Kelvin was 4 of 18 from 3. Adrian 1 of 9. Rebounding, Kelvin ended up out-rebounding Adrian 40-38 after Adrian had about a 7 rebound margin at the break. Let's see, what else do we have here? Free throw shooting. Kelvin 12 of 21. Adrian 12 of 20. Turnovers were notable in this one. Let's see here. Well, Kelvin had 14 steals and 27 turnovers by Adrian. So there you have it. Kelvin winning that one by a final score of 68-45. Well, we're waiting for Coach Christner. Let's see if we can't get caught up on some of the other MIAA basketball scores that are going on right now, as those 7 o'clock games have tipped off. And see if we can't get you some updated scores. Here comes Coach Christner. Got Coach Christner on the air. And hopefully you can hear me all right there, Mark.
Yeah.
Just your thoughts on this one. You're coming off 2 really tough games last week, an emotional rivalry game, and maybe the energy wasn't quite at a high level, but I thought second half probably was a little bit better than the first half. So just your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, I would agree. And you get into the routine of the league, and I thought, and I've said this all along, one thing that has not abated is our defensive intensity. And while, I think offensively in the first half, it was probably a little bit of a struggle, I thought their defense was really good. And it just helps you, right, to stabilize, stay in games, stay in control of a game. And I thought we played a nice second half to be able to put this one away.
Yeah, Fernandez had 5 steals. For a bit there, we were on single game steal record watch there. I think 8 is the record. Got Sarah Andersman, Karen Heemstra were classmates of mine back in the early 90s. They were at 8 apiece. But Fernandez get pretty good at jumping those passing routes and playing a little free safety out there, isn't she?
She is. She's an instinctive defender, I would say. And I think one thing that she has grown in from last year to this year is her ability to guard. She's done a really nice job on the perimeter, keeping people in front, and yeah, the steals are a good part of that. And when you can have people at the back end who block shots, that helps you become a little bit more assertive maybe in a passing lane.
First half, you got out and transitioned a handful of times, missed some layups, but then the second half, you started converting those chances. And when you can start doing that, that's probably going to take your team to that next step up, isn't it? Because your defense does create those turnovers. And as you always like to say, you like to turn those turnovers into touchdowns if you're the one causing the turnover in the other team, right?
Yep. It was, when we talked about it, one of the things about coaching is it's really hard you don't want your players to feel pressure. I mean, they know that they missed it, right? They know that they maybe made a bad play. And, from in transition to even in the half court, the ability to turn the corner and, our finishing around the hoop has been something we've really tried to work on all year. It's not where we want it to be quite yet, but we'll continue to work at it. And then the second half, I thought our movement overall more broadly was better, and I think it created better shots for us. We got to the free throw line a little bit more, and we didn't turn it over. So I was really pleased with that.
11 different nights get into the scoring column. Always nice to get a lot of players involved, and a lot more than 11 got into the game here tonight. So for people that have been grinding for a long time, and you go through Christmas break and all that type of thing, and you don't get a lot of bench players coming in necessarily when you're playing top 20 opponents like you did last week. It's kind of nice for some of those other players to get in and contribute. It does create for kind of a fun atmosphere collectively, doesn't it?
For sure. And we always know, some people are, you're a sprained ankle away from playing a little more.
That's
right. You're some foul trouble or whatever. And I think the ability, I thought Jamie Custer had a great week last week, and today looked a little bit more like a freshman, and the ability to bounce back from that, I think, is such a valuable lesson. I've been pleased with Sally and her way she's handled her senior year so far, and she's played better in practice, and we wanted to reward her with some minutes. We have a couple people working through some things that I think has been impactful, with Allie and Grace probably a little bit, but Caitlin and Anna have just been really good for us, and Hannah's coming along too a little bit. I was pleased with Val. I thought that she helped us kind of get over the hump a little bit with a couple of her finishes in the second half. Kind of gave us a little bit more energy there. So, overall, it's a really fun group to coach. I told them in the locker room, it's defensively, I think we're to the point where we're a little like a boa constrictor, kind of gradually suck the air out of other teams because we can just do it differently. And today we really turned Adrian over. I thought our ball pressure was awesome. I thought our communication was really high level. They run some unique things, and they couldn't run anything today worth much. So I was really pleased with how we played.
Absolutely. So you get back into the win column not only overall, but in the MIAA. So now you're 3-2, trying to build on that. Just your thoughts on getting a win in the MIAA, and you host Kalamazoo on Saturday, and just trying to keep stacking up those wins as you move along.
Well, we talked about it this morning at shoot-around, or this afternoon, just the standard of how we want to play. Like, it doesn't matter who we play. And, this game today meant as much in the standings as Saturday's game. And this Saturday's game coming up will mean as much as today. So, you do want to take it kind of the proverbial one at a time. I want our group to kind of feel like we are improving and peaking. I think one of the things, when you play well against high-quality teams like we did last week, but you don't get the result, it can be a little discouraging, and I think our group was a little discouraged. But, but that's they compete, man. They compete, and I love coaching them, and we're just going to try to keep getting better and better.
Absolutely. Well, congrats on a win, 68-45, and be nice to have a home game on Saturday. It's not a doubleheader.
No.
It's the only game in town, so we invite the fans to come on out and support these Knights.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Jeff. Yeah, we're looking forward to Saturday. Go Knights.
All right, go Knights. That was Kelvin head coach Mark Christner here on the Big East post-game show. Well, we're going to take a little break, and then we'll be back with the start of the men's game with our pregame festivities. But again, we want to tell you that this post-game show has been brought to you by Big E Sports Grill, just south of Kelvin's campus on the Beltline. We're going to take a little break, folks, and we'll be back. We're about 20 minutes to tip time, so we'll be back with about 7 minutes left on the clock. We'll be back in just a bit.